Good evening, Lizzie boys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about OMG again, but not really the main line, just the tweens, because shockingly, there's a new wave of tweens coming out. So this kind of just came out of nowhere. Usually these dolls will leak like months beforehand, like as heads or nude, or even from people like buying the dolls from like say Taobao or some other website, like one of those secondhand selling websites that get a lot of doll prototypes or samples. But these just kind of came out of nowhere. It was definitely surprising, but they're all currently up for sale on the LOL Surprise website, and I also wanted to throw in my thoughts on MGA's recent changes in doll quality. So with that said, let's get into it. So here they are, the 4 new tweens. We've got Hannah Groove, Ellie Fly, Flora Moon, and Cassie Cool. Also, I don't know if it's Hannah or Hannah, but I'm gonna say Hannah because that's how it's spelled. So, yeah. When I saw these 4, I felt confused because we haven't seen any leaks for anything new from the, like, OMG brand in a while. We knew that there would be 3 new dolls, a new version of Kitty K, Candylicious, and a new character whose name I never bothered to learn. They're not the Fierce dolls, by the way. Unfortunately, Fierce Candy K. Fierce Candylicious and Kitty K were indeed cancelled, but there did end up being 2 new dolls. And there's also a new Hello Kitty collaboration for the 50th anniversary of Hello Kitty, which is utterly adorable, and I would love to see a tween based on it, but for now, these are the 4 new tweens. Let's talk about them individually. So starting off with Hannah Groove, she is interesting. The boots are very high, and I don't know, well, these dolls don't really have leg articulation anyway, they kind of just have like the bend and snap, so I guess the leg articulation isn't that big of a deal, but I just find this doll to be a bit of a mess. There's too many colors going on, and not in a flattering way. I feel like they were trying to go for like the Goldie Twist vibe. If you guys don't remember what Goldie looked like, she was in series 2, and she wore purple and green and had a lot of color, but it worked very well, and she kind of had a sort of like mod look to her. They seem to have been going for a similar vibe with this doll. Maybe this one's intended to be more 70s than the mod 60s, but yeah. Basically, it's a very interesting route to take, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't like her hair color. I know it's a weird critique, but I just don't like the like sort of like very bright lemony yellow that they chose. And also, I'm not crazy about the change of the packaging because they say 10 plus surprises, but everything is on display. Nothing is a surprise, which does kind of suck. So, yeah, that was kind of negative, but, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. Next up is Flora Moon, and I am even less of a fan of this one because, wow, her artwork is adorable and the doll looks nothing like it. One of my biggest gripes with this doll is definitely her hair situation. So as you can see, this doll has primarily pink hair with 2 random blue tendrils. That already looks kind of weird to me. It just seems like they're like clips or something, like they shouldn't be there. But then you've got her eyebrows, which are brown. In the artwork, oddly enough, it looks fine. All the colors seem to go kind of well together. But then you get to the doll and she just looks off, in my opinion. Her outfit kind of reminds me of Wildflower, but it also reminds me of Trendsetter. If you guys don't remember who Trendsetter is, she was the sort of like Y2K looking doll. She had like pink and blue pants, fuzzy pants, and a sort of puffy sleeve top similar to what this doll was wearing. Yeah, this doll just doesn't really catch my eye. Most of her accessories are reused, like the backpack is from Lexi Girl from series 2 of the Tweens. And the skateboard, I think, is also reused. I don't know from who, but I definitely feel like I've seen it before. Yeah, not crazy about this one either. Next up is Ellie Fly, who I think is probably the messiest one here. For starters, her eyebrows are barely visible. The shade of blue they chose make them really blend into her skin. So I think to rectify that, they either should have made her eyebrows a darker shade of blue that actually, like, pops, or given the doll a darker skin tone so that the lighter blue would pop against the darker skin tone. She just kind of isn't my thing. I don't know. Like, her outfit is okay, I guess. I'm not crazy about the skirt. It just isn't for me. But, I'm trying to think of something positive to say here. I don't like the bangs. I guess I like her hairstyle aside from the bangs. Like the big ponytail at the top that is a big curl on the side. That's cute. She's got a little fuzzy, cloud looking hair tie. I don't know who this doll is supposed to be the sister of. Is there like a flight attendant that I've never seen before? I always forget that these dolls are supposed to be sisters to existing like tots or OMGs because I don't keep up with the tots anymore, so I never know who is whose sister. Yeah, this one's probably one of my least favorites. She's very generic. It's the only way I can describe her. And now we reach our final tween, Cassie Cool, and she reminds me of Regina Hart from the Alice in Wonderland themed masquerade line. She has a lot of gold on her. She's dressed to look kind of royal. She's got that little crown. Regina came with a very similar piece to that, like a little crown piece that she could hold over her face to look like she had a crown on. Yeah. She does also look like Crystal Bailey, though. Junior high Crystal Bailey from Rainbow High. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really vibe with her either, but Base Doll is really pretty. Like, the Base Doll I actually really like. I'm not crazy about the dress. I mean, I guess it's cute. Okay, I think I like her outfit better when she's not wearing any gold. Like, if she took off that big gold piece, I would like her a lot more. In the artwork, the gold piece looks entirely different from how it looks on the doll in, like, actuality, which I find strange. Usually the artwork is pretty one-to-one with what the actual doll looks like, but that's a pretty strange difference. It doesn't look alike at all. If I were to rank these four, I think I would have her as my number one, and maybe this doll is number two, and maybe her is number three, and her in last place. I really don't know. I don't really like any of these dolls, which sucks, because I usually really like the tweens. I loved the head swapping ones. They were all really pretty. And then these come along, and I just don't feel very strongly towards them. One of the worst things about this line is that they took away the doll's wrist articulation, so they all have significantly less articulation than they used to before. They still have it at like the shoulder joint and the elbow, and obviously the legs move, but you know, do they even, we don't know if they have the bend and snap. In these photos, they all seem to have their legs standing straight. Well, her leg is it bent? I don't know. Point is, they took away articulation from these dolls, and usually when that starts to happen, it's not a good sign. So, yeah, I'm a bit concerned. It just seems like all of a sudden, Rainbow High, Shadow High, which is basically dead in the water at this point, Shadow High is basically dead from what I've been able to see. There's been no leaks for any new Shadow High dolls. These dolls came out of nowhere, though. So I don't know, maybe Shadow High has a chance, maybe they'll get like a budget line or something, but for now, I'm a bit concerned with MGA's future. As you guys know, they're rebooting Rainbow High to have dolls that come with slime and poopsie pets, and they're also making like some budget lines from the looks of it. I've even heard that those new 2-packs for Black Friday of Stella and Bella with their junior high versions, the dolls feel lighter. Like, they changed the body in some way to make it weigh less and use less plastic. That's just what I've heard, though. I don't know if it's true. So, basically what I wanted to say here is, it seems like MGA is starting to drop the quality on some of their other doll lines. I've heard that potentially they seem to be planning to go all in on Bratz, maybe even making like a full playline comeback, and that could possibly be because of Monster High. I'm just speculating here, but I think Monster High being back, I think G3 is doing pretty well, and all I can think is that MGA feels threatened by that. So they're starting to like kind of pull out of the other brands that are harder to profit off of, which allegedly Rainbow High is very hard to profit off of. I've heard that just the packaging costs more than the dolls even sell for in stores, which makes no sense to me because the packaging is arguably the like least interesting part of every Rainbow High doll. But that's just what I've heard. Again, I don't know if any of this is true, and I really am just speculating. So, yeah, I don't know. How do you guys feel about these dolls? Do you think they're a sign of, like, bad things to come? Or do you think it's just, like, a one-off fluke and it won't happen again? I'm hoping it's a one-off fluke. I like the tweens. I don't want them to die out and, like, not be good anymore. But if these dolls are anything to go by, the future is not seeming, very bright, I guess. Definitely something to be concerned about if you're a fan of the tweens. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. I just wanted to talk about this subject a bit more. If you guys have any more thoughts you'd like to share, any more concerns about MGA's recent kind of drops in quality, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you think that this is just like a little minor flop era and that they'll bounce back, also feel free to let me know. I just want to see what the general consensus is. I don't know. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!